What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. I know I have at least 3 vegetarians and 2 vegans that have subscribed to this channel, and actually maybe even a couple more than that. So anyway, what I figured I would do would be to come up with vegetarian lasagna. We are going to even take it a step further, and we're going to replace the noodles with zucchini slices. Anyway, why don't you come in, take a look what my ingredients are, and we'll get cooking. The ingredients we're going to be using in this vegetarian lasagna is going to be, I have some basil. We're going to be dicing up an onion, dicing up this eggplant, just to kind of give it kind of a meaty texture. We're also going to be dicing up that bell pepper for the sauce as well. We're going to mince some garlic. These zucchini, that's going to replace our noodles. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley to the sauce. I added that the other day and I really like that flavor it gave it. I'm using tomato puree. You can use whatever kind of sauce that you like or make your own, which I'm going to be doing. I have some Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, a couple eggs, and then I have a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon we're going to be adding to the sauce. Anyway, this is going to be a non-traditional sauce. Feel free to use a canned sauce and cut this down to an extremely simple recipe. Anyway, what I'm going to do is start getting my prep work done, slicing these things up for our noodle replacement and doing all this other stuff. When I'm done with that, we'll pick it up. Chopped up, one ingredient among a couple I might add that I forgot to mention earlier was I have some olive oil in this pan. I'm going to go ahead and throw in everything. This is my parsley, my green peppers, onions, and then my garlic. The basil, I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be mixing that with the ricotta cheese down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in just a little bit of, I'm going to throw in a little bit of salt now. And once this becomes soft, we'll add the rest of our ingredients, and then we'll be cooking this for about 3 hours. Got sweat down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add my eggplant. I'm leaving the skin on the eggplant just to give it a little bit of texture since we're not going to have any meat in there. So I'm going to add the eggplant, my tomato puree, an ingredient that I didn't mention earlier, some oregano. No, can't go wrong with oregano. And I'm going to roll with a couple bay leaves as well that I didn't mention. And then our wine. And this is going to go for about, like I said, about 3 hours. Simmering for about an hour. And I did just kind of taste it. I'm not going to add any salt because it is going to continue cooking down a little bit further. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to add just a little bit of sugar just to kind of take away some of that acidity from the tomatoes. So I'm going to add a little bit of that, just a little, and then I'm going to go with some red pepper flakes just to kind of heat it up a little bit. This sauce is cooked for about 2 hours. I went ahead and shut that burner off so it could cool down so it's easier to work with. While that was simmering, I did go ahead and cut up my zucchini, which is going to take the place of the pasta in that. Now really I need to get working on our ricotta mixture. Now the sauce is getting cooled down. Let's go ahead and make our little cheese mixture. What I have here is some basil that I have kind of rough chopped up. And I'm just going to add about half of this right now. I'm probably going to have some left over of this container. But I don't want to make too much right off the bat. So we're just going to kind of stir that in. I'm going to start off with just 1 egg. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more mozzarella cheese than you would normally add to this, just because I'm not going to be having any pasta in there, and pasta will typically help the lasagna kind of firm up a little bit. I'm also adding some of this Parmesan cheese. Let's mix that in, see how it's looking. I think I'm going to be fine with that. What I am going to do though is I am going to add another egg. So I'm going to finish stirring this up and we'll start building this lasagna. I did go ahead and add a little bit of salt to this cheese mixture just so it wasn't absolutely plain. So our first step, boom, we're just going to hit the bottom of this pan with the layer of sauce, and then we are just gonna layer these down. I'm not sure how many layers we're gonna get out of this, but we'll see. Now I'm gonna come back over it with this cheese mixture. And I'm just going to go ahead and complete these layers. So we're going to come back over this. If it doesn't fit, break it, eat it. Good stuff. Boom. You know what? I think I'm going to be fine with this. I'm going to you know what I think I'm going to do? I am going to do one more layer. This has been in the oven about 35 minutes. I went ahead and shut the oven off. Now I'm just going to go ahead and lay just some strips of mozzarella cheese kind of just randomly on top. And just shut the door and let that melt. Well, it looks like there's only one thing to do. Let's taste it and see what's up. Okay, you know what? I really do like this recipe. One thing that I would do differently if I was to do it again would be I would probably throw those zucchini slices in a skillet or something and kind of cook them down a little bit, you know, grill them down a little bit, but just because you can kind of tell that texture so it's not quite as smooth, I guess, if you were to have normal noodles in there, or possibly just go with the eggplant is the replacement for the noodles, and then maybe add the zucchini into the sauce. But either way, this is good. I'm just picking out little stuff that you know, just picking little stuff out. It has all the same flavor that you would get out of a normal lasagna. You don't obviously have the meat flavor, but you know, all those normal flavors that you would get. So anyway, I highly suggest this. I like it. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.